Given the facts surrounding abortion and the number of health risks, the immoral reasoning behind it, the only acceptable terms for it, and the only logical thing to do is adoption. Close your eyes and imagine you have nothing you have now. Imagine you don't have a significant other. You are alone. You live nowhere. You have no food. It's as if your parents never had you, that they had an abortion. Think about the life you have had so far. Are you happy with it? I know I am. I was given a chance at life, and so are you. So why would you not offer that opportunity to the life that you had created? Whether you conceived by accident or intentional, you are responsible. You're a grown-up. So be responsible. There's only one option that I can find that is morally correct and not a total immature, non-adult decision, and that's pregnancy by rape. The only other option that I can think of is any type of health medical reasonings due to the mother or the child itself, the unborn child. Today I'm going to give you the very real health hazards, the immoral reasons why not to get an abortion, and the only acceptable reasons to do so. So let's begin with the facts of health risks you could experience. As found on www.afterabortion.org, abortion risks, a list of major physical complications related to abortion. And this is for you women. The list of major complications are in large numbers, but here's a few for example. In 1997, there was a government-funded study in Finland that women are approximately 4 times more likely to die within the following year from abortion than those who carry full term, and that's from Dr. Gisler. Subsequent preterm deliveries and other complications of labor is another topic. Women who have had 1, 2, or more previous induced abortions are anywhere from 1 to 2% more likely to have a preterm delivery compared to those with full-term delivery. The stats for post-term delivery are those of previously induced abortions who have had 1, 2, or more are anywhere from 1 to almost 2.5% times more likely to deliver over 42 weeks. The preterm delivery increases the health risks to the baby of the neonatal death and handicaps for the rest of their lives. Now that you have some understanding of the stats and major health hazards of abortion, let's discuss why it is immoral and why you should not get an abortion. The immoral reasonings I feel so strongly about, in my personal opinion, immoral reasonings behind abortion, they're just terrible. For example, fetuses, they do feel pain during abortion, and this is backed up by Kanwalit J.S. He is a medical board doctor. He is Dr. Phil, Professor of Pediatrics, Anesthesiology, and Neurobiology at the University of Tennessee. If the fetus is beyond 20 weeks of gestation, you would assume there would be pain caused to the fetus and believe it would be severe and excruciating pain. And those are words of the doctor himself. Place that you can find this is abortion.procon.org. Is Annie Murphy Paul. She's the first aide of the New York Times Magazine in 2008. Another topic is abortions cause psychological damage. A 2002 peer-reviewed study published by SMJ, the Southern Medical Journal, of more than 173,000 American women found who aborted were 54% more likely to commit suicide than women who carried to term. This is abortion.procon.org as well, and that's from David C. Reardon, Ph.D. These deaths associated with pregnancy outcome. Why, whether or not you had planned on conceiving or not, would you want to cause another human being a painful death? Would you go up and just football punt a puppy? No, you wouldn't, unless you don't have a morally sound mind and are just sick. Also, remember, everything has a consequence, whether good or bad, and the consequence of abortion can be hard and traumatic, not only on the women, but the men in the relationship as well. Now that you have a better understanding of the immoral reasoning from professionals and myself, maybe you will put forth this information to those you know, or who you don't know, are considering this type of procedure. Next, we'll move on to what I know is the only acceptable reasons for abortion. The only acceptable reason for abortion, as described by Miss Dana Henders at pregnancy.lovetoknow.com, medical reasons for abortion. Health factors for the unborn can have a major play in whether or not abortion is okay. The well-being of the neonate is the most important thing to consider. If the disease is considered incompatible of life, then abortion should be thought to be accepted and understood, which I completely agree with. Some medical conditions that can be detected via aminosynthesis are Down syndrome. There's another trisomy 18, spina bifida, MD, muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell, and anencephaly. Rape is not okay, and rape babies is probably something that women do not want to live to remember and or have the child of the rapist to remind her of the devastating time in her life. So that's another reasoning for it. In my own words and my own morals, I believe that if a woman chooses to get an abortion from being raped, then she should have no guilt in doing so and receive no negative comments from the anti-abortion crowd or myself. I also believe that the procedure for the mother who was taken against her will should be covered by insurance and or the government. This is only if she comes forth and makes the police report in terms of the crime to be able to locate the rapist and let justice take it from there. Now that you understand the number of health risks, the immoral reasoning behind it, and the only acceptable terms for abortion, I will remind you of why. Today I have given you the information from multiple sources, noble ones at that, and personal opinions of myself, but others as well. I have told you about the number and seriousness of the health risk with abortion, the immoral reasoning behind it, and the only conclusion that I come to for acceptable terms for having the procedure done. The evidence itself should give you enough food for thought in making your own decision as to why abortion is immoral and extremely unhealthy for the child and mother alike. The only thing that is acceptable is that of health concerns for the neonate, mother, and rape victims.